Celebrities who have also been teachers. Let's get into it. Billy Crystal was a teacher, a high school teacher. I was a per diem floater in the same junior high school I went to, he told Oprah. I sat in the office and made $42.50 a day. Oh, okay, so he's a substitute. No surprise there. Acting is not a stable career, so substitute isn't easy where you can pick up shifts here and there. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of actors would be substitutes. Okay, John Hamm. Lin-Manuel Miranda, no surprise there that he would like English. He taught middle school before his big break after writing In the Heights. He taught 7th grade English, and one of my 2 favorite things to teach was All Things Fall Apart. So, so I heard in this article and another article, it says that he actually used to make them act out some of the Shakespeare. The whole class would act it out, which no surprise. He's a theater person now. Definitely no surprise he would be an English teacher. Sheryl Crow. She was graduated with a degree in music, and she became a music teacher in the Rockwood School District. Sing. The students, let's see, he was an English teacher and soccer coach for 2 years at St. Paul's Cramlington English. It sounds like a Catholic school with the name St. Paul. Jesse Williams was on Grey's Anatomy. High school. My goodness, this one surprised me. Gene Simmons was a teacher. Gene Simmons, 6th grade. Comparing his former and current industries. So here it is. The rewards were much greater in the music business, but the pitfalls are very deep. So in one, you're in front of an audience who may not want to be there. That would be the middle schoolers. I'll read you the full quote in another article. Sylvester Stallone. He was hired by a Swiss boarding school for girls as a gym teacher and a dorm bouncer. Dorm bouncer would be a good one. Gym teacher. Okay, Barack Obama was a teacher. Mr. Obama, for 12 years when he taught law at the University of Chicago's Law School. During his tenure, which included 3 courses and even led him to senior lecturer position. Hillary Clinton was also a teacher at Columbia University, okay, and University of Arkansas Law in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Here's a new one. Mayim Bialik, sorry if I butchered her name, taught college-level biology, chemistry, and neuroscience classes before returning to acting in The Big Bang Theory. So she earned a PhD from neuroscience. I knew she was a neuroscientist, didn't know it was a PhD. University of California. She put her academic knowledge to use teaching college classes. So The Big Bang Theory and host of Jeopardy. Okay, one you did not mention, Blossom. Did you guys watch her on Blossom? So she did that before becoming a neuroscientist. Actually, I follow her on YouTube. She has a good YouTube channel. Gene Simmons. Here's a better picture of Gene Simmons when he was like, this is him during his hype with the makeup and the tongue out. This is the Gene Simmons I think of. Did any of you watch? He had a reality show. I'm not sure. It was probably like late 90s, early 2000s. And he was a 6th grade general studies teacher in New York City. Here's the full quote. This is good. It depends how deep you want to reach. The rewards are much greater in the music business, but the pitfalls are very deep. In one, you're in front of an audience who may not want to be there. In the other, you're in front of an audience who worships your feet. Can you imagine if you had him in 6th grade and then he became this? You'd be bragging to everybody. I knew him before. Okay. All right. Roberta Flack, who wrote Killing Me Softly, was an English literature teacher in Farmville, North Carolina. It doesn't surprise me that a lot of the music Broadway teachers taught English. 12th grade English literature. I never watched this show, but Ezra, I'll just call him Ezra, Vampire Weekend, taught in a Brooklyn middle school as part of Teach for America. And Teach for America would be something where you're trying to teach other teachers. All right, so this one's 30 celebrities who used to be teachers. This one doesn't show their picture right by their name. Well, here's some pictures. But this one had a huge list, so I like this one. Mr. T. Did you know Mr. T was a teacher? He tried many different jobs before taking on his Mr. T. He was a PE teacher at his hometown of Chicago. They have a whole list on this one about authors who are also teachers. William Golding taught middle school in English in Salisbury, England. George Orwell, the one who wrote 1984 and Animal Farm. He was a, let's see, what did he teach? All-boys school in West London in 1932. Not surprising he was a teacher with the kind of books he wrote. Robert Frost. Maya Angelou. I did not know she was a teacher, but that's not surprising with her writing poems and everything. For her book, I Know Why, she taught at Wake Forest University. There she emphasized she was not a writer who teaches, but a teacher who writes. Most teachers consider themselves a teacher first. J.K. Rowling, all right, not surprising, considering she's good at writing books. She taught English as a second language. Okay, so she was teaching English in Portugal. All right, interesting. Stephen King, again, not surprising. With a BA in English to teach secondary school. He sold short stories to Men's Magazine until he got a job teaching at a public high school. Hampton Academy in Maine in 1971. He continued to write. So basically, he wrote on the evenings and weekends, and when he became famous, he stopped. Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code. He taught classes at Beverly Hills Preparatory School. And he taught English and Spanish. Politicians, John Adams. I like that this article went back in history. The second president of the United States, the first vice president, was at the Central School of Worcester. Became a teacher in 1921 at Wilson School in Texas, a town on the border of Mexico. His students only spoke Spanish and he only spoke English. Johnson was an enthusiastic teacher. Speech and debate tournaments to help improve his students' use of the English language. Not surprising from someone who became a president that he would do speech and debate. Interesting. Jimmy Carter also tried school teaching. He did so after his presidency. So here's someone who became a teacher after they were famous. Sunday school. Okay, that's different. Sunday school is like a volunteer thing. Not that Sunday school isn't teaching and is not important, but I just thought it was like a paid teaching thing. Okay. So he in a Baptist church in Plains, Georgia, not surprising, into his 90s. His Sunday school teachings became so popular that people traveled thousands of miles to hear his lectures. Yeah, I mean, if you knew Jimmy Carter was teaching and anybody could go, I bet they had to get your social security number and do a background check. I bet they did before you went to his Sunday school class. Because you have to if you're around former president. He's got Secret Service. I met Jimmy Carter. I used to work for a political TV station. I posted pictures. There, you know what? After this is over, I will, in the description, put a video where I have pictures of me with him. Jenna Bush Hager, daughter of George W. Bush. She's also host on the Today Show in the last hour with Hoda Kotb. Taught third graders in Washington, D.C. at Elsie Whitlow Strokes Community Freedom Public Charter School. That's a long name for a school. After a year and a half, she left her teaching position to work for UNICEF. A year and a half. She either started in the middle of the year or left in the middle of the year. So then she wrote a book with her mom, Laura Bush, Read All About It, to excite young students about reading. Other famous teachers, Alexander Graham Bell was inspired to create the telephone through his work as a teacher for the deaf in London, Boston, and Hartford, Connecticut. In fact, after he officially created the telephone in 1876, he insisted on tutoring individual students, including Helen Keller. That's interesting. Princess Diana, before becoming England's beloved Princess of Wales, Diana worked as teaching assistant in a London nursery school. Okay, she was an assistant teacher. Interesting. I got one more article to read, and let me say that I had to search for this one because I knew that this person was a teacher, but he didn't show up in any of the lists. Tony Danza was a teacher after he was famous. He taught in a New York City high school. He taught English just for 1 year. He only lasted a year. I don't blame you. I tried middle school. That was hard. He decided to try his in the classroom as a high school English teacher. Oh, in Philadelphia. I'm sorry, not New York City, Philadelphia. His experience as a first-year teacher is an A&E series. Sorry about all the ads on this page. Anyways, so I kind of pre-read this so you didn't have to. So basically, they tried to do a reality show, but the producers wanted to pit him against his students to make things more interesting, and he refused to purposely get in fights with his students, and I hear it only lasted, like 1 season. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming live. See you next time.